Hello and welcome. Happy new moon in Leo. It's also a solar eclipse, which is really exciting. We have a lot of really big energy that we're still moving through collectively right now. And it's a really interesting year from an astrological standpoint. It's very busy. And there is a lot that we are being asked to let go of, to shed. Um, Now, I'm going to get into a little bit of astrology today because I do think that it is important. And there are a lot of themes that are coming up that are really, really interesting. Overall, a new moon is like we are planting the seeds, right? We're like start of a new cycle, we're planting seeds. Leo, which is what this moon is about being seen. It's who you are. It's like shine your light energy. Eclipses are kind of wild card energy. So an eclipse can be a little chaotic, can be unexpected. It can really just be this like, you know, anything that has been hidden will come to light during an eclipse. So with those sort of energies at the forefront, as we kind of look at the rest of the astrology, it's really interesting how it all pairs together. The first kind of transits I want to talk about are the sun and the moon are conjuncting Jupiter, all in Leo. And so this is like Jupiter expands. So anything Jupiter kind of like brushes up against expands. So this is like expansion, confidence, and new beginnings. Because remember, new moon is new beginnings. So this is like think bigger, trust your creative instincts, because that is very Leo. Leo's like has a lot of like creation energy. And any opportunities that are coming to you, say yes. And think about planting seeds for long term. That's very much the moon energy. There can be a shadow here of being overconfident, like that fine line between cocky and confident, um, doing too much or believing that like bigger means better. There really is an energy here of like, what can we plant no matter how small that in the future is going to grow much bigger than we ever could have imagined. Okay. So Saturn is also doing some fun things here. Saturn is trining both the moon and the sun. Now, this is a harmonious transit. Trines are supportive. And so Saturn is what I like to call like kind of like the daddy of the planets. Like he's very like, steadfast. He's about commitment, stability. Saturn wants maturation. Saturn wants you to grow into things. And so the opportunity here is, again, if we lean into that Leo energy, Leo is about shining your light, creation, joy, play, children, beautiful, beautiful energy. When it's being supported by Saturn, it's asking you to build something that's going to last, to follow those little sparks of inspiration with discipline, and to create structures that are going to support you in the future. So chase the shiny, sparkly things by all means. Like, just chase whatever lights you up, but then make sure that you're coming to support that inspiration with discipline. Okay. I'm almost hearing like devotion. Like you are chasing the shiny, pretty things, but you're also going to then turn around and be like, okay, we're going to build something that lasts from this. There can be a shadow here of playing too small, fear of responsibility, or waiting until everything feels perfect. And, Leo very much is asking you to take that leap of faith. Okay. We also have Mercury conjuncting Jupiter. And again, Jupiter, anything that brushes up against Jupiter gets expanded. So Mercury is about communication. So the themes here are perspective, vision, meaning. So there's opportunities here for like big ideas, learning, seeing the bigger picture, getting like a return of hope can also be here. The shadow is, assuming you already know, speaking before you think, or like over promising. So again, like pay attention to those big ideas, to anything that kind of comes in as a bit of a download right now. Mercury is also in Leo. We have all these planets hanging out in Leo. Bless any babies that are born right now, because that is a lot of Leo energy. Oh, so beautiful. Okay. Next, we have Mercury again is opposing Pluto. And I think it's actually exact. Let me just gonna pull up the little chart here. Yeah, it is like direct opposition. That is very strong. Okay, so with that, Pluto is the planet of like transformation, death, rebirth, and Mercury is truth and communication. So this is honest conversations, really like seeing beneath the surface of what's happening. So this can also be another transit of like powerful insights, releasing any of those limiting beliefs. Obviously, with anything, there is shadow. So the shadow here could be obsessive thinking, power struggles, doom scrolling, and trying to control uncertainty through information. So just like over researching something so that you feel like more confident in what you're doing. So this transit's just asking you, like, what truth have you been avoiding? Mercury again, Mercury's busy. Mercury is trining Neptune. So this is like intuition, imagination, symbolism. So there are opportunities here for like creative flow, spiritual downloads, synchronicities, like insights. But also Neptune can be escapism, wishful thinking, or confusing like reality with fantasy can be here. So just like keep that in mind. Neptune is opposing Mars as well. So because Neptune brings a lot of energy of like illusion, and Mars likes to do. Mars is the planet of like drive and ambition. It's actually no, it's not Mars, it's Venus. It's Venus, I think. Yeah, it's Venus. Sorry, guys. Okay, so it's Venus. I was like, wait a second, that doesn't make sense because Mars is in the wrong placement. So Venus is opposing Neptune. So it doesn't have to do with drive, it has to do with your relationships. So because there's an opposition there, it's going to help you to see your relationships clearly, help you realign with authentic values. So like, you know, when you look at your relationship, it's going to kind of like remove that like rose-colored glasses, remove the fantasy, and show you what's real. Okay. What else do I want to talk about here? Let's see. There's a lot of transits. There's a lot. Okay, the last one I'll mention here is the North Node is currently trining Mars. That's why I was thinking of Mars. And that brings us an energy of like courageous action. So it's very subtle, but it's very powerful. So this is about forward movement through taking action. So even if it's imperfect, even if it doesn't make sense, even if you're not really sure why, any small action right now with that trine will help to propel you forward. Okay. So overall, like there's a lot of transits happening. If you pull up the chart, it is like, I don't know if you can like see it reflecting in my glasses, but like it's very busy. There's way more that I didn't even touch on. Those are just kind of like the main ones I was feeling compelled to talk about for this transit. but it's really about, so there's a lot of themes of expansion. Okay. But there is a lot of discernment here too about recognizing not everything needs to grow. If you picture a garden, we don't go crazy and let everything grow. You pick and choose, you weed things, some things crowd things out, some things need to be split and moved, or else nothing can grow. If it's just left to grow wild, then it's like nothing is really able to flourish. Everything is kind of fighting for survival. Um, Obviously, we like courage to be seen. That's very Leo. There's a lot of planets in Leo right now. We've got the sun, we've got I mean, I was like, what is the thing I'm talking about? The moon. The moon. Like, there's a lot of things in Leo right now. Jupiter. And so Leo is asking us to stop hiding those parts of ourselves that are ready to be seen, okay? That are ready to contribute something, to create something, to shine. Stop hiding. We do have an energy, like a theme here of discernment. Okay, so Neptune and Pluto are very active right now. And so this isn't about believing everything you feel or think. Okay, this is an opportunity to kind of tell the difference between what's intuition, what's anxiety, what let's like feel the feelings and really like go through the layers to figure out what is here. Okay. Saturn is helping us, remember that inspiration is great, but it's meaningful when we give it structure. Okay. Like we all know those people that are like dreamers. They dream all the dreams, but nothing ever comes to fruition from it. So Saturn is helping to support us through that. And then we have an eclipse. Eclipses are course corrections. Okay. Like they illuminate things, particularly they reveal things you've already outgrown or an old story or something that, needs to come to light to support your journey. It's, they're not usually like your entire life changes overnight. That has happened for me before. I was living a very misaligned life at the time. And so the eclipse was a massive course correction for me. So how you experience an eclipse really depends on how in or out of alignment are you living and how open are you to like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like how open are you to shifting, to getting back on the correct course? Because that will really determine how your relationship with the eclipse is. For a lot of people, eclipses happen and they don't notice them at all. I personally happen to be very sensitive to eclipses and I love them. They can be a little tumultuous sometimes, but I'm like, yes, let's show me where I need to go and I am here for it. So overall, I would say this entire new moon, all of these transits, it's really about like expanding your vision, really tune in and deepen your discernment. Okay, like think bigger, see more clearly though, and like commit so deeply to the life that you want to be living. The eclipse isn't asking us to become someone new or to change our entire life overnight. It's asking us to stop like negotiating and blocking the person that we're already becoming, like the person that we're already striving towards being. Stop blocking that and stop trying to second guess it all the time. Just like commit to what is here. That is really the core of this entire lunation and all of these transits. So yeah, let's pull some cards here from my deck. I just actually looked at my screen and the lighting is not so great. Let's turn on my light here. Okay, that makes me super red, but you can see me now. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to pull some cards this is the Crossroads Oracle. This is my deck that I have created. And for our full moon in Leo, nope, new moon in Leo. Sorry, guys, my brain's tired today. Our new moon in Leo. Let's see what is going to come through. They're really good shuffle. Let's see. Ooh, okay. This is a nice card. Nice card for this. So seems weird at first, but I'll explain it. Okay, so we have the vulture. And again, the lighting is terrible. I stopped doing these readings at night, but I love doing them at night. So the vulture is actually about renewal. So if you think of the vulture as the animal, they're like nature's cleanup crew, right? They come through and they just clean up the dead things. But it's a cycle and it's a process of renewal. And without them, we would be like completely overrun with disease and like there would just be like dead things everywhere. It would be terrible. So the vulture shows us like what has reached its natural end, like the end of its cycle, the vulture tends to. And vultures are very peaceful. Like they're, you know, if you watch them, they're just like circling above. And what I love about this card is it's showing us that what seems to be like a decay and nothingness actually becomes nourishment. And there's a balance that's restored here. And so it's like through those endings that, you know, it seems like an emptiness. Instead, it's a place where like life begins again. So the vulture comes forward when something has completed its purpose, something is finished. And instead of focusing on what has been lost and what we no longer have, it's instead asking you to consider that it's already being returned to the cycle. And, you know, even though we think it's ended, it's like something new is coming. And this is the cycle of life. This is how it works. In the shadow of this card, it can be like resisting the movement of the cycle. We're still like holding on so tightly to something that really isn't meant for us anymore. And life is kind of asking us to let go and give it back. And so this card is really asking you, like, what has completed its purpose and like what is ready to be returned or released. And I think this is really beautiful with the eclipse because the eclipse will show you, if you're open to it, the eclipse will show you what you're still holding on to that needs to be released, that needs to be let go so that a new cycle can begin again. Like this is a new moon. This is a new cycle. This is about, you know, planting those seeds to start again, to start the entire cycle. And if we're clinging to something that is like no longer for us, it's not giving us room to begin the cycle again. So that is what this card is bringing forward for us. So I love that. It's beautiful. Okay, let's see here. Shuffle some more. Let's see what wants to come through. Oh, one moment. Okay, let's a little overzealous with my shuffling here. So let's see. All right. Oh goodness. All the jumping cards today. Okay. Ooh. Okay. It's funny, I was talking about this card earlier today, so I love that it came through. And this is also the first card, the vulture, was a messenger. I also like can't see my screen right now, so hopefully you can see that. I'll post pictures of these. I was talking about this card earlier today. And it's funny because these are both messengers, and I do shuffle, I swear. The messengers are, as the name would suggest, invite us to listen. And so the cat is really, it's about autonomy. It's about autonomy, living authentically. I see why this card came through. Living authentically, and like, if anyone knows cats, cats are like their own beings. Cats are very much about consent. Like if you compare like cats and dogs, if you're an animal person, dogs just are like unconditional love and love you always and love most people. Like few dogs are like super discerning. Cats, on the other hand, though, cats are very discerning, and consent is a big theme with cats. And, you know, often many cats only like to be touched on their terms and cuddle with on their terms. And I love them for that. And so, really, like the cat belongs to herself. Cats move to their own rhythm. They rest when they're tired. They explore and play when they feel curious, and like when they're done, they just withdraw. Like they don't, like cats aren't people pleasers. They just meet their own needs. They don't look for permission to honor their own nature, and they certainly don't change who they are to meet the expectations of other people. So this card is coming forward kind of like on the tail, if you will, of the last card, sort of saying like, hey, where is your own rhythm asking to be honored? Where in your life are you not meeting your own needs because, you know, you're trying to meet the expectations of other people around you? The wisdom here is choosing what's right for you, even when it's different than what other people are expecting. And I think this card is really perfect coming through in this like moon cycle that we're sitting in, especially with the eclipse, because it's, you know, again, the eclipse is going to illuminate for you, if you're open to it, you know, where in your life are you living for other people, and where should you be living for yourself? So I love that card there. Okay, let's pull another one here. I kind of love it when they all come together and get, ooh, that one. See, sometimes they're quick, sometimes they just, ooh, okay. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Okay, let's see here. So this card here is the midwife. Okay, I don't know if that's, you can see it. There it is. I can't see my screen very well. There we go. Okay, the midwife. The midwife is a guide. And the guides are sort of like the archetypes that are helping you to like move through whatever journey you happen to be on. The midwife is about presence, emergence. It's, you know, things can't be rushed. So I actually love this energy for Leo, because Leo is really about creation. The midwife, she understands that things unfold in their own time. Like again, like there is no rushing. There's no rushing. She is present with what is coming. So whether it is a dream, whatever season you're in, a new identity, or like whatever it is you're focused on that you're creating, she is here as presence, not pressure. She's just like a supportive figure. She also knows that like growth and creation can't be hurried. You need to let things unfold in their own time. And her wisdom here is not in like forcing things to happen, but recognizing when they're ready to come forward. So when she appears, um, you're being invited to trust the quiet knowing of the process that is unfolding within you. What are you being called to create right now? What chapter of your life are you in? Because not every transformation we go through is looking for action. Some are only looking for you to just be present while life is kind of gathering itself beneath the surface. And what is becoming will reveal itself when the moment is ready. In the shadow side, the midwife is rushing, fearing that you're falling behind or you need to make something happen, or that, you're sort of like hesitating before like creating. You're mistaking uncertainty for not being ready and kind of like holding yourself back from creation. So a lot of the energy of the midwife is about just releasing control, allowing things to follow their own rhythm, trust in the cycles of life. All three of these cards are, really about, the vulture is like we trust in the cycles of like letting go and trusting that something else is coming to replace it. The cat is about staying true to yourself and, living your life for you. And then the midwife is about like whatever is calling you, whatever, is wanting to come from you, especially with the energy of Leo. So like creative things is what I'm feeling. So whether it's a podcast or a book or art or whatever it is that's coming forward from you, the midwife is about staying present, stay present with it, and just like release control and trust that it's going to unfold in its own time. And again, like if you happen to be experiencing a lot of endings right now and a lot of things falling away, trust that new things are coming to help you like ensure that you are living in alignment with your highest timeline and what you came here to do, and that it will unfold in its own time as it's meant to, and that isn't something that can be rushed. You just have to trust. So that is the message of all three cards together, and really quite beautiful for the energy of this moon, all this energy in Leo. My goodness, shine your light. Whatever is calling you and whatever shine your light means for you. It's about being seen. It's about creating, and allowing yourself to be seen either like through your creations or be seen yourself. And it's a really beautiful energy right now. There's a lot of really supportive aspects, and don't be scared of the eclipse. Okay. Eclipses get a bit of a bad reputation, but they really can like completely change your life, if you stay open to the energy, and open to the possibilities. And it can be absolutely magical. And even if in the moment I keep looking for this card because I keep seeing it in my mind and I feel like it wants to come through, but I'm not sure where it is in my deck because it keeps talking to me in my mind. It's called the Tower Runes, and oh, there it is. Okay, this like honorable mention. This one's coming through. This is kind of like the Tower in tarot. It's a realm card, so it's kind of like where you are, and it's about like old things need to collapse and fall away before new things can be built. So this is the idea that like the tower has collapsed and we need to like clear the rubble to make way for new things. If you look at the imagery of the card though, I don't know if it's showing up super well. When the tower collapsed, it allowed the light to come in, right? And like we see the moon and we see it like illuminating the altar, and we see like that spark of life has come back to the ruins. And that is the energy that I'm feeling right now. This is far more to do with the eclipse than to do with the new moon itself. New moons are about new beginnings, right? So this is an opportunity for like a new beginning if you're open to it. Keep in mind, eclipses come in pairs. Okay. So usually it's like a little bit of a portal. So we have the solar eclipse happening with the new moon, and that's going to be on Wednesday, August 12th. And then we're going to have a full moon. And with the full moon, we're going to have a lunar eclipse. And that's 2 weeks after. And so I experience eclipses as the first one's like a portal. It like opens the door. And are you ready? Are you going to walk through? Are you open? Even if it means you walk through the door and the tower crumbles behind you, walk through the door. You have a portal. And when you walk through the door of the final eclipse with the full moon, it's a whole new world if you're open to it. So allow the transition to come, allow it to remove things from your life that are no longer in alignment. And in the moment, it can feel terrifying. It can feel like your entire life is being uprooted. But looking back, you'll be so grateful that things unfolded exactly as they did. And, you know, and when you look back your life where you are now, it's, it can really be an incredible support. So stay open to it for sure. But anyways, I hope you have a wonderful new moon, and be gentle with yourself. Eclipses can be a little bit of wild card energy. I don't typically recommend doing a whole lot of manifestation around an eclipse. Usually new moons, we talk all about like manifestations and intentions and things like that. With eclipses, I like to just stay open to what's coming, and like stay very curious about anything, especially the couple days leading up to the eclipse and then the eclipse itself. What's coming up for you? And I'd love to know. Send me a message, let me know. What kind of conversations are you having? Is there any tension, conflict? Are there good things? Like, what is coming up in your world, particularly as we get closer to the 12th of August? So that's all for now. I will tune in 2 weeks with the full moon, and we'll see how the eclipse is treating everyone. Bye for now.